Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Dan. And today, I'm still continuing my Disney movie marathon. You guessed it, talking about something Disney related. In one way or another, I guess you can say, of course. And so, within this video, folks, again, I'm going to be talking about something in terms of the princess stuff. Yes, I'm doing that again. It's my channel and I do whatever I want with it. So there you go. So yeah, I guess to be more specific, I guess you can say, this has something to do with the big success that the Frozen 2 had, of course. And yeah, so that's where I'm starting off. It may not be specifically that, but I'm using that as a starting point because it was due to that success that a lot of people would want to see good stories and whatnot. So I'm the CEO of Disney did say that storytelling is one of the most important things in what you can do for film. I mean, okay, it's not specifically just for princess stuff, of course, or animation for that matter, or Disney. You can use that as a way for generally speaking, because cinema itself is a powerful thing when you think about it, if done properly, obviously. And yes, of course, this was brought up, obviously, so it's something I want to talk about, of course. Storytelling needs to be something that has to be done correctly, of course. Regardless of what gender the main character might identify as, what sexual orientation, what country they're from, or, what part of society they're in, rich, poor, middle class, whatever. None of that is going to mean anything if the story itself is done sloppily. And, yeah. For me, folks, at the end of the day, like I said this many times before, is that the plot is what matters, and the characters is what matters, really. The characters could be whatever. They can be a frog, a cat, or whatever, or any kind of animal, or whatever kind of human being. At the end of the day, I want a good story, regardless of genre. I mean, of course, I have my favorite genres. Everyone does. Everyone has a favorite type of movie, which is fine. That doesn't have to be a bad thing. But at the end of the day, I want to see a good story. And of course, story is important. And of course, Frozen 2 is one of those few sequels that was actually good. What makes this even more rare is that Disney's known for making sloppy sequels. They became notoriously known for that kind of a thing. So, yeah. Of course, this individual had something to say, of course. Because we all know there's plenty of movies on Disney Plus, and Disney and Pixar have worked together for quite some time now. And those the Toy Story movies and whatnot, of course, that was created. And a lot of people seem to really enjoy those films, and that's great. So yeah, he believes that film can be a platform to express ideas, which yes, I have to agree, of course. So he basically oversees literally everything, the theme parks, to the world, anything involved in Pixar films and Disney films and whatnot. He'll make sure that everything goes on correctly, of course. And yes, of course, he actually did like a podcast kind of a thing. And on said podcast, he actually spoke about topics about the childhood memories which he had when he was younger and how this influenced his decision to do certain things in life and having the leadership in Disney and whatnot, of course. And stated that, storytelling is what Disney does best. I mean, okay, granted, it's not always top of the line storytelling. There's a few slip ups here and there, I guess you would say. Another two is still one of the absolute worst sequels I've ever seen that was produced by Walt Disney Studios. I mean, holy hell, it was bad. I mean, okay, it was taken out by Walt Disney Studios, but one of the animated departments, I guess you can say, from that company, to be more specific. And then the remake, yeah, it was also pretty bad. Ugh. I mean, okay. Yeah, sure. The Disney company had some blunders over the years, sure. But you get what they're trying to get at. So make sure Disney has some good storytelling and whatnot. Make sure the quality control is there. I mean, yes, there's a few occasions, like I mentioned a moment ago. There's gonna be a few slip ups here and there. Okay, every company's guilty of that. Not that I'm trying to make excuses or anything. but it does happen. But yeah, it's just at least to somebody that doesn't care about storytelling, of course. I want to try to have a variety of different things, of course, with storytelling. So yeah, so of course, to make a good story and make it feel natural and to make it better, and of course let people feel to connect to the characters, of course. And I guess you can do that through emotion, and that's what Disney does, using emotional kind of elements to the stories to make sure the audiences feel connected to the main characters. I mean, okay, that's pretty vague, I know, but there's a number of different ways in which you can actually accomplish this. Of course, depending on how you do it, obviously. And have a variety of different standpoints, as mentioned. To make sure the films do need to make a lot of money, of course. The films do need to make a lot of money, obviously, and make sure that the creative people do what they're best at, you know, and shape in such a way, of course. And there's lots of degrees of freedom to the people that are, experts of this field, of course. And they may let them express whatever they want on the script, of course. At the same time, understand this is something that needs to work in a commercial way for the shareholders, because when you think about it, yes, whether you want to accept that or not, this is a business. Film industry, regardless of the company, this is in fact a business. Said movie does need to make a lot of money, as much as possible. And I mean, okay, you might be thinking breaking even might be a good thing, but not necessarily, because they do want to make profit when you think about it. A lot of people may not know is that yes, you are given a loan when to make a movie. The company will give you a loan of a certain amount of money, so you have to work within that budget. I mean, some directors went over budget, but still, my point stands that you need to make that budget back for that one movie you're making. If you break even, that's kind of I don't know about that. It's kind of like wishy-washy. You do need to make sure that your film making techniques will remain faithful to the company, by which I mean you need them to believe that you're competent enough to make a commercial movie that will appeal to as many people as possible. That seems to be like the general rule when it comes to any company, that is, anyway. Your product needs to make money as much as possible and whatnot. And in order for said company, it could be Disney or whatever else, that's our Warner Brothers or whatever, or and pretty much have them make sure they believe in you. Your film needs to make a truck ton of money. Which, yes, is in some ways is understandable and whatnot. You can't just do something to some absurd end just to please yourself. You gotta make sure that your movie makes money if you want to keep the job, that is. That's not to say you're just gonna step out over creative freedom or whatever, of course. Even though it may come off like it. The individual showed a moment ago did say he wouldn't mind letting some people, have their own creative ideas, trying to be a bit flexible, of course. But you do have to keep in mind that movie does need to make money. Which, yes, like you said, it is understandable. So, yeah, of course, the shareholders need to make money. Everybody needs to make money. Everyone does. Literally every single body. So that's perfectly fine. Obviously, these movies, whatever movie it might be, it doesn't necessarily have to be princess movies, of course, but just literally any movie that they make has to connect with the people, of course. Characters need to be great. Need to have good characters, good themes, good story, and whatnot, and have an overall good idea. I mean, of course, I've seen some bad movies with good ideas that were poorly executed. But some people might wonder that which of the two is more important, the um, the idea or the execution. Some people may feel that execution might be better of the two, but if you ask me, you need both. You need a good premise and a good delivery of said premise in order to make it good. That's just my opinion, but still, folks. Of course, storytelling keeps getting brought up, of course. Make sure it reaches people in its own way and touches people in its own way. so that people can keep coming back. And yes, of course, Disney does have its own magical touch when it comes to movies, especially when it's really, really well done and whatnot. Make sure the characters are relatable, of course, regardless of their job description within the movie itself. So yeah, films like the first Frozen film seems to be on the right track. I mean, yes, these two characters are really high up in society because they are queen and princess. But that shouldn't stop the universal feel for these characters, making them relatable in some sort of way. At the end of the day, that's what matters. Making these characters have some sort of universal feel to these characters, but a lot of people can actually relate to them. Yes, there's a lot of people outside in the world who have siblings. Yes, I mean they don't always get along, sure, but realistically speaking, there are going to be sometimes where they fight, sure. And Princess Anna would do anything to help her older sister and whatnot, and it shows in both films and in the shorts, of course. And that alone is pretty relatable because there's plenty of siblings who actually do that kind of a thing for the other one, of course. So again, I'm not bringing up the status, I'm not bringing up the money, I'm not bringing up the fact of what they do for a living or whatever. At its core, you need to make characters can be appealing to a lot of people. So yes, of course, storytelling is very important when it comes to these movies. Not just in the princess movies, but in literally any movie that Disney has made. I mean, yes, of course, the princess movies is something that they are known for, of course. And honestly, I hope they do continue to make more princess films in the near future. I do have the strong hunch is that they're not going to stop anytime soon, especially considering the fact that people do join them for their storytelling, and yes, these movies, usually for the most part, make a ton of money. So, financially speaking, I don't see them stopping because it does make them a lot of money. Like I would often say a long time ago, is that vote with your dollar, and that's what people are doing. If these are the type of movies people want, well, go pay full price when they come out, and on theaters, or pay these streaming services, or pay them at least when they come out on DVD or Blu-ray or whatever. Pay them full price, not used, so that you can let them know that's what you want to see, in the future movies and whatnot. So again, I'm doing my 2 cents there, no pun intended. So yeah, if these types of movies you want to see more being produced by Disney, there you go, there you have it. Again, that's what I believe in anyway. Bottom line here, before I just wrap things up, folks, is that storytelling is an art form, of course, which defines. I guess you can say storytelling is an ancient art form from from way back when, from ancient times, and it can be a form of human expression, of course, in many, many different ways. And film can express this if done properly, of course. And storytelling is done in such a way, in various ways. You can use paintings, you can use comic books, you can use novels, you can use video games, you can use TV shows, you can use audiobooks, you can use radio and whatnot. And yes, like I said, princess movies. Yep, you can use princess movies as a way to tell a story. So, yeah, that's a good thing there, folks, of course. Regardless of genre, obviously. So anyway, I guess that'll be it for now, folks. I didn't want this to be too long. Anyway, of course, as usual, thanks for watching and take care. Until next time, see ya. Oh yeah. Later. Yes, sirree.